Hello, Brian Turner here with another video mortgage installment. Today we're going to be going over the 5 most common mistakes that investment property buyers make. This is something I have a lot of experience with and a lot of background, and I'm really passionate about it. I've bought and sold dozens of rental properties and currently own, I think, 14 rental properties myself. So I've got a lot of input and a lot of good information to share here. So I hope you find this useful, and let's go ahead and get started then. Alright, one of the most common mistakes people make is not making a profit from day one. Positive cash flow is the key to this whole thing. If you're going to buy a place, you need to look at what your interest rate and the rents you're going to be able to collect are. You know, your interest rate is going to determine your monthly payment, and your rent is going to determine whether you can collect enough money to cover not just your mortgage payment, but your taxes, insurance, maintenance, repairs, and any vacancies. So you got to really look at the whole thing. If you know, a lot of times people set these things up and they won't realize it, and they're losing $500 a month. And you know, while over time you'll pay the mortgage balance down, you got to be able to swing that over time. And so positive cash flow is the most important thing, and there's other things beyond just the rent that you need to think about. So at any rate, make sure you're making a profit from day one. Number 2, choose the right amount of down payment. You know, in the old days, before the mortgage meltdown, when I first started buying rental properties, believe it or not, I used to be able to buy properties with no money down. That time is long gone. You know, and then for a while it was 10% down, and now pretty much the best you're going to do is 20% down on a rental property. But keep in mind that you can put more than that down, and if you put 30 or 40% down, if it's something you can do, usually you get better interest rates, of course, which will help, you know, lower your down, you know, your monthly cost on the place, making it easier to get that positive cash flow I was mentioning before. So, you know, you really want to think about how much money you have for a down payment. Number 3, not all mortgage bankers are the same. It's a very important part. You want to ask about loan products, terms, and rates, and you want to make sure that you're comparing apples to apples as you shop around. You know, the investment property mortgages can be a little bit more tricky, and you want to make sure you're comparing the same thing when you're shopping with people. And it's good to get a guy or a mortgage person that has background in rental properties. You know, they can help you, advise you on the different types of products you can use based on what your goals are, and they can be a tremendous wealth of knowledge. So number 4, real estate agents unlikely to understand the process and needs of investor. Your mortgage banker and realtor really need to work in concert with one another, and what I mean by that is you need to have an agent and a banker that have experience in rental properties. You know, I can't tell you how many times, I can't tell you how many times that I have dealt with, you know, real estate agents in my own buying that come to me with a great deal, and by the time I break it down and get my cash on cash ROI and you know, I'm like, I explain to them I'm losing $500 a month, and they don't even really understand what I'm talking about. So you know, it's not that they're, you know, they're just trying to sell property. That's their job. But you just want to, you know, work with a realtor and a banker that have experience. They can be the difference between you saving and losing thousands and thousands of dollars when you try to invest in property, especially when you're coming in fresh and don't know what you're doing from the start. Also, another very important thing is not understanding the purpose of your investment. Are you going to fix and flip it? Are you going to keep it and rent it? Are you going to try to buy it and sell it to another investor? You know, these are 3 different types of investments, and these are just 3 of many others. But you know, this just gives you an idea. You know, if you're going to fix and flip it, then you got to be getting it for a good enough price that after you fix it up, you'll sell it for a profit. But see, if you're going to buy a rental, you want to be thinking more in terms of, can I collect enough rent to make this thing cash flow for the long term for me? So, you know, and then if you're going to sell it to another investor, well, am I getting it a good enough deal to where I can sell it to an investor at a good deal? So it really just, you need to think about what it is you're looking for, and then go out, because there's millions and millions of properties for sale. And if you just kind of go in with no focus and no plan, you'll end up spinning your wheels forever and never get anywhere. Discuss the plan with your realtor and mortgage banker so they can understand. You know, if you're going to fix and flip it, there's different types of loans where you can get money to do the rehabbing, that kind of stuff. If you're going to sell it to an investor, you're only going to have it on a short-term basis. There's loans that the interest rate is only fixed for like a year or 2 years or 3 years or something like that, and they have much better interest rates in that time period because you're just going to sell it to another investor. You don't really care about the long term. But if you're going to keep it and rent it, then you're going to want something like a 30-year fixed rate. So you just, and that's just a real basic broad overview. But, if you're working with that real term banker that know what they're doing on the investment property arena, it can make a big difference. It can save you tons of money. So, just backing that up, subtle differences in your loan could save you thousands. So, and it's really true. So, at any rate, I hope this was helpful. This was the 5 mistakes that investment property buyers makes. I hope you're having a good day. Take care. Bye.